squatter hero looking at, and tonight we're going to be looking at the book of Aubrien Archers. Again, books of Heroscape, quite well written, essential for looking up squads and heroes on Heroscapers.com. Link in description below if you want to look up the books of Heroscape. Tonight we'll be checking out the Aubrien Archers. These are fun guys. From Xanafor's Discovery, Collection 4, Solbergs and Elves. And I'm just going to go through read through the card first. It says, okay, they're associated with other. Elf, Common Squad, Archers, Precise, Medium 4. They have special ability Frenzy, which is after you take a turn with Aubrien Archers, roll the 20-sided die. If you roll a 16 or higher, you may take another turn with Aubrien Archers, which it's like what, 25%, nearly 25% chance of letting them shoot the arrows again. 1 life, move 5 spaces, range 7 spaces, attack 2, defense 2, 70 points.
I like these guys.
Yeah. I don't know how they would compare with like other ranged units, but yeah, I like the fact that 7 range, attack of 2. Attack of 2 is always nice because I think if they would have like attack of 1, might be less significant, as like, I know because there's some ranged like squad, like common squad units that only have like say an attack of 1. Which make them just less appealing, but this, I mean, this really helps with it, because if they have height advantage already, that means that instead of 2 dice, you could use 3 dice, and then another like a good chance to a roll for taking another turn with them as well. Always helps.
Yeah, I mean that frenzy is. You cannot ever underestimate that because getting them up on height, if they get a frenzy chain, they're probably getting height. They're probably going to rush onto height, and then they'll shoot down at anyone. And anytime you have a frenzying unit, I get nervous playing it. The last tournament I went to, I got steamrolled by a Viper army. I was doing Kurok and a whole bunch of fire elementals, and it was an army that was doing pretty well until it went up against the Viper army. And I was doing okay for the beginning part of the game, but I was just waiting for a frenzy chain to happen. I was like, it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's gonna. I'm just going to keep playing and just hold my ground and just cross my fingers. But then it happened. He rolled a frenzy, and I'm like, okay, it's not going to be a chain. Just he frenzies, and then it turns into a chain. And it's just it's unpredictable, it's unreliable, but when it happens, it's amazing. And for a unit that has 5 move and 7 range, what's that? That's that threat range of 13. Yeah, so it's significant. And you throw in Venok Warlord, and that goes from I think 25% to 30% to frenzy. So I don't have a whole lot of experience playing them. I've played maybe 2 or 3 games with them. They do well. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, there's a lot to say about them, but they're cool and I like them.
Okay, I got a question too about frenzy as well, as my cat is crying for somebody or something. But after, no, my question is, say you take a frenzy turn, can you roll the 20-sided die again? Can you keep this going, or can you only do that once?
You keep going until you don't roll it. That's a frenzy chain. You can just keep rolling.
No, that's cool. That's cool, because I thought, is that a loophole, or is that an actual thing? Okay.
It's
Nope.
yeah.
That's
I was doing
nice.
Venok Warlords. I did like 7 or 8 turns on the first order marker one time. Just kind of to stop the game. It's just like it's very chance dependent, but once you get going, it's the one to watch out.
Yeah. Any unit with frenzy can theoretically win the entire game on turn 1 if they just keep rolling.
Right.
They could just kill everything, and the opponent has no chance to stop them.
I got to test play some armies because that sounds a lot of fun. And let's see here, Justin says, I only have a single squad of these and wish I had more. The Venok Warlord is one of my favorite units, and these guys benefit much more from his frenzy than the Venoks because of range, right? Yeah, no, it's I mean, I have well, obviously I have one because you've seen them on ToV. But no, I acquired another, so I got 2 squads of these guys. I wish I had more as well, like because I know from Matthias Maccabees, he says that like for at least tournament play, I mean, it's good to have like 4 if it's a 3 unit squad, you have 4 of them, have 4 squads worth. Or if you got a 4 unit squad, have 3 of them at least to play well. But yeah, no, I can see the immense value of these guys for sure.
Try playing with them and against them, and if you don't appreciate Frenzy, now you will. It's amazing.
I like these guys a lot because they really encourage kind of a unique army building composition. You know, you can have a V-neck army, you can kind of do more of like an elf kind of, have like Arkmer and what's that? 20-point Quintella.
Quintella.
Yeah, you can kind of create just like a blockade of just you get like 3 defense, 4 defense elves with range and frenzy, and then if someone gets close to them, they get whacked by Arkmer. So it's kind of some unique builds you can build around these guys, or you put them in a frenzy-based army and just have them swarm. Yeah, these guys are really fun. The only problem I have with them is that they don't wear pants; they just have skirts on.
A kilt. It's a kilt. Yeah.
Kilt.
Yeah.
Kilt.
Maybe they're taking something from the Mactic Warriors and be like, we like these guys, and yeah, let's imitate them. I don't know. Actually, I could probably do that. I probably do that for made-up lore. That they're best friends with the Mactic Warriors in like future seasons of Tales of Hell. Let's do that.
Yeah. Throw that in as a little Easter egg. Just
exactly. I like that idea. But yeah, when it comes to synergy benefits, let's see here. Aklara, we said Venic Warlord, and Quintella, yep. And for C3V SOV, only looks like Haddock. Elven Supremacy. I don't know that.
Wow.
C3V, but that
I didn't even think of that. Haddock, he's got do you know Subakna for the Morrow? He's got the Hive Supremacy.
Okay.
So Haddock has Elven Supremacy, I think, and so he gets to add 1 to a die roll anytime you're rolling for an elf.
Right.
So imagine him plus Venok on their frenzy.
There you go.
Wowza.
Just find a way to get. I mean, and Justin, I'll give you some advice too. Here's a fairly easier and cheaper, because I know these squads, they're not cheap. Aubrien Archers are not a cheap squad to purchase. I mean, I don't remember the total money cost amount, but probably a cheaper way to get them is Trexy 3D or other. I think it's Trexy 3D, or other sellers who 3D print these, and you can purchase them for a lot cheaper. And you might have to paint them up, but just to have them, even if they're not painted on the board, there you go. That's a great way to add 2 or 3 squads that you might need for tournament play right there. I mean, I did this with some of the spiders like a few weeks ago, and I'll be probably talking about that in future live streams. But it's a lot more convenient way to get things, even if you don't paint them. At least they're there, as like proxies.
Yeah, these guys are definitely on my list of how to paint videos. I'm on my list just because I love the color scheme, that bone white bow and the greens and the tans. It's always just it's a fun, easy paint, and they look so nice when they're on the board.
Absolutely. Now let's dive into the lore a little bit here. Okay, character bio. And there's a little bit here. It says, from the heart of the great forest of Phaland come the Aubrien Archers. Only young elves who pass the 4 tests of the Queen are allowed to join the Aubrien squad. Of those who are admitted, only 10% finish. Those who are left show a skill with the bow that is feared across Phaland and now even beyond. I don't know who the...
These are like...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, these are like the astronauts of Phelan. It's really the top echelon.
They're good at math. They're good at science. They're athletes. You know,
apparently
they passed all her tests.
apparently they got like bows like Legolas got. You know, from oh, why am I drawing a blank? Come on, I'm a Lord of the Rings nut. Galadriel, Galadriel's bow. It seems like they were gifted with similar things, kind of. Like when it pertains to their bio, so they're basically elite elves. You know, they're just not your common archers. And I know if Jeremy was here, he would have more to say on that. But that is okay. That is okay. I will say this when it comes to these guys, these elves. Phelan is definitely one of those central places and worlds, basically, where you have a lot of, especially like other miniatures drawing from, and there was already conflict on that world from the very beginning, and it's just basically poured out into the how these guys just basically brought their grudges with them, especially when it comes to like the circumstances with Kusamet, and how like a lot of the elves, main elves, got ambushed. So yeah, I like how what these elf archers basically represent when it comes to that particular story.
The Essenwine family, the vampires, the undead, they're from Phelan too. Am I wrong? I can look them up.
They're from Phelan as well.
Yeah. And they have an army of zombies, which is that's also in the lore, I think, or they're also from Phelan, I should say. So I don't know if they have any. I imagine they have some kind of beef or history with the archers or the elves of Phelan, but
yeah, and this is something that I know we'll explore more in the future too with other squads and heroes when it comes to these guys. But yeah, it's deep, it's very rich, and like I said, this I hope that I know when it comes to like Renegade and Age of Annihilation, there's lots of other there's new things to explore, but I hope that they also recognize the importance of kind of reviving what has already been drawn up and expanding on it, you know, and giving it more depth. Because there are those of us lore aficionados out there that kind of need that, kind of want that. Justin says in the chat to us, says, I'm aware of the 3D prints, but there's something about having the original pieces. I know, I understand. Especially since much of my birthday and Christmas money I received as a kid went to building a large collection. Yeah, no, I get it. But there's also like an element of fun to it. Even if, like, say, you do have an original squad, there is an essence of fun and developing a skill when it comes to getting like some of these 3D prints and painting them yourself and getting your own painting style. And your miniature's own identity, you know, when it comes to that. So yeah. As a little anecdote, I can't resist throwing this in there. But I'm not good at painting. I haven't started, but I want to at some point. There is a VC unit called the Acolytes of Vorganund. They're like these cultists, and I really like them mechanically. I like the heroes they bond with. They're really fun. But they're impossible to find, the original figures. These are VC units, and they're impossible to find. I can find some of them, but not a full squad of 3. So my hope is one day I'm going to get a whole bunch of 3D prints, and I'm going to paint them and dress them up like the cultists from Resident Evil 4. So I just can't resist. It's gonna be fun when that happens, but that'll be quite some time from now. Well, whenever you get to it, record it so we can see that. Yeah. For sure.
If you need any requests, let me know. I'm always pretty much I just wait for someone to say, "Hey, I need to know how to paint this," and I'm like, "All right, I'll make a video on how to paint these." So.
Oh yeah. Please. When I do get around to trying to learn, I'd love to study under someone.
Yeah, I have one of every, at least all the original pieces. But once you need 3 or 4 of something, my pockets don't run that deep. So I just go. My 3D printer just goes whir, and I just have three more squads of these guys past the original, but they're all handmade. But
for me, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. I was just waxing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I get really into the strategy. I'm not as experienced as the caster guys, but I do like the strategy, and I like going to competitive events. And when you're going to those competitive events, like Matthias said, you definitely want to have multiples of those commons. So yeah, I can understand from a collecting standpoint, just to get one squad of the official, just to check it off your list.
Least.
But then if you're going to go competitive and run a horde of a common squad, I just think it's irresponsible to encourage people to buy the officials. Definitely go for the 3D prints. Don't break your bank, because most people are cool with bringing 3D prints, even if they're unpainted. So,
for sure.
Like on my channel, I was thinking oh boy, if I'm telling people you got to run, 5 or more of this squad to be competitive, I'm like, what am I encouraging them to do with their money? No. So I'm all for 3D prints, 100%. Any way you can get them, and painting them can be a lot of fun. Honestly, there are some 3D painted 3D prints that look better than the original prints. The colors pop more. They're more striking on the board to see. And anyway, so I'm all for it.
Absolutely, and for anybody, like I said, I mean, usually these segments is to sorry, now I got something in my throat, is to encourage people who haven't looked at Heroscape or considered playing Heroscape, whether it's competitively or just recreationally, and they're trying to see, okay, what squads, because they don't want to buy everything at once. And I know if someone out there who loves Tolkien as much as I do, and loves elves and loves Elf Squad and wants to build something in the sense that they love from that type of genre, this definitely is a good option. I mean, they can be a little bit pricey, trying to find original. These original squads, but even if you just buy one squad and then competitively want to play again, the 3D print option is probably a cheaper option. So this is for anyone's consideration in the future. And I mean, and thank you, Will and Josiah, for explaining Frenzy a little bit, because now I'm really considering I gotta play test these guys out. I gotta see what Frenzy is all about. We'll do that in the future. But yeah, appreciate it, guys. Unless there's anything you guys want to say, I will close this up. Anything else?
The Aubrien, they all just rely on the "Are you feeling lucky, punk?" principle. Just you could because most Frenzy units are really low defense, low So if you whiff on the D20s, you're gonna lose the game. But if you get a streak going, nothing better.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, when you're playing them, play them as if you're never ever going to get a frenzy. Play safely. If you never get it, then you're playing to that. Don't unless you have nothing to lose and you're behind and it's the end game and you just want to do a Hail Mary, why not? But I would say as you're building and developing, play as though you're never going to get that frenzy. And then when you do get it, take full advantage of it. But then at that point, it's just a fun bonus. Your strategy isn't relying on it.
And I will let that be the last word. And so this has been looking at Aubrien Archers, Heroscape, Squads, and Heroes.